everyone, let's talk about matter. So in this video, we talk on the concept of matter. So let's begin with the meaning. Matter. Matter is anything that has mass in the occupies in space. So kind of mass in the other in the occupies in certain kind of space. We call it matter. So which matter is used to cover up all the substances and the materials which are found in the earth and the universe at large. So these include all the materials around the example, maybe water, soil, plants, animals, air, solvents, and the others. So any particular kind of matter is called a substance. Now a substance includes the elements and the compounds. So what's an element? Element is a substance which has the limits of chemical analysis, example the helium, helium element or hydrogen element. Now when these two or more elements are combined chemically, compound is formed. So for a compound is the composition of two or more elements. Now matter is made up of atoms, ions, and the molecules, which are going to talk later on. So let's see on the types and in the states of matter. So any chemical substance existing in any of the three forms or the physical states. Now the three different states of matter, the first one is solid state, liquid state, and the gaseous state. So let's see on the various different properties that can occur in all these three physical states. The property we have, the first one is the shape. The physical state was solid, liquid, and gas. Now, how does shape occur in all these three? The first one, shape in solid, solid is an infinite shape, while liquids have no infinite shape. This means that they take the shape of a container. Example, maybe a cup or bowl, or so any container takes the shape of that container. Then also gas has no infinite shape as it occur full to the container, so it covers the whole container. The other property is volume. The solid is a fixed volume, also as a liquid, but gases have variable or variable volume because they depend on the temperature and the pressure. Now the other one is the fluidity. The fluidity in solid, this is the ability of flowing. Now the solid is not flow actually, but liquids generally flow easily, and the gases also flow easily. The fourth one is the expansion on heating. Solids expand, they have low expansion on heating. Liquids have medium expansion on heating, while gases have high expansion on heating. The fifth one is the compressibility. This is a bit of compressing. So the solids have no incompressibility because the particles are packed together, so they are incompressible. The liquids almost are also incompressible, but gases are highly compressible because of the presence of the particles to be far apart. Now, the sixth one is that the motion of particles. The motion of particles, it is slow compared to liquids, where in liquids it is high and in gases it is very high. So these are just the few properties and how they exist in the physical states like solid, liquid, and gas. Moving on, let's see the changes of states of matter. Change of state of matter accompanied by the kinetic theory that is used to explain how a substance changes from one state to another. Now, the kinetic theory of matter or the particle theory says that all matter consists of many very small particles which are constantly moving or in a continually state of motion. So this is how kinetic theory of matter states like. Now, basically, the changes from one state to another are caused by alternation in temperature and pressure. So we see which in various changes, which is the alternation, is it temperature or pressure. Now, normally molecules, ions, or atoms of the substance move faster when the temperature is increased. So the following are the processes which are involved in the changes of states of matter. The first one is melting and freezing, evaporation slash boiling and condensation, then sublimation and deposition. So as you've seen there, I've written two by two. So it means that these work in vessels. So we'll see how they work to each other. So let's start with the melting and freezing. Melting is the change from solid to liquid state. Now, when solids are heated, their constituent particles, the atoms, molecules, and ions, gets the energy and they vibrate more violently. Now, the vibration of these particles exceed their binding forces. Now, the particles become mobile, so the crystalline structure of solid is destroyed as in result, the liquid state is reached and the particles are free to move. So the temperature at which this process is attained is called the melting point of a solid. Now, substances with a high melting point have strong forces between their particles compared with those which have low melting points have weak forces between their particles. So that's all about melting. Freezing, this is the change from liquid to solid state. So the freezing is the opposite of melting. Like I said before, the process is reversely as the temperature changes if the liquid is cooled. So the temperature at which substance turns to solid is called the freezing point. Now the melting point and the freezing point of any given substance are both the same. So for example, the melting and the freezing of pure water takes place at 0 degrees Celsius. Now the melting is not affected by any changes in the atmospheric pressure. Only it's affected by the changes in the temperature. Moving on, let's see the evaporation, slash boiling, and the condensation. Evaporation and boiling. First, boiling is the change from liquid to vapor state at a particular temperature. So the boiling takes place at a particular temperature, maybe example water is the boiling temperature or the boiling point at 100 degrees Celsius. So at that temperature, the liquid will change to vapor state. Compared to evaporation, that is the change from liquid to vapor state at any given temperature. So evaporation takes place from the surface of the liquid. Now the temperature at which a liquid boils is called the boiling point, and the liquids with the high boiling points have strong forces of attraction between their molecules than those with liquids with the low boiling points. Now the boiling points of a liquid intake can change if the surrounding pressure changes. So if the surrounding pressure rises, so also the boiling point of the liquid will rise, and if the pressure of the surrounding lowers, then the boiling point of the liquid will lower down. Now the condensation, this is the change from gas state to liquid state. When a gas is cooled down, its particles lose energy. Now they move more and more slowly, then they become knocked into each other. They do not have enough energy to bounce away again. Now they stay close together and the liquid they form. Now this process is what is called condensation. So that's what happens in the condensation. I hope it's clear. Moving on, sublimation and deposition. This the sublimation starting this the change directly from the solid to a gaseous state without you passing to the liquid state. So when a solid example changes directly into a gas, it is called a sublime. So examples of sublimes are like the iodine, solid carbon dioxide, the dry ice, and the ammonium chloride are the main examples of solids that can sublime. The deposition, this is the phase transition in which gas transforms into a solid without it passing through the liquid phase. So the sublimation is the inverse to the deposition. So these are all the processes that are involved in the changes of states of matter. I hope it's clear. Thank you for listening.